I'm Nathan Lowe, and this is my story so far. This is a book that my parents put together, which basically documents my journey so far, from grassroots all the way up to where I am now. Yeah, so it started off, used to live in Essex. I used to play for a team called Bishop Stortford. I used to play there when I was maybe 6, 7. And that's my first really memories of proper football, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I was very competitive still back then. I've had a ball at my feet for as long as I can remember. I was kicking the ball around the garden, making my parents stand in goal, of course, as all children do that love football. My next part of the journey, when I moved up north, played for Edgerton Football Club from 2013 to 2016. It's another grassroots club. So this is the club that I was playing at before I got picked up by Stoke. We actually played a game against Stoke when we were a lot younger, and we got battered, but I scored a goal and they wanted me to come in for a trial. Dad originally said no, but eventually he let me go in, yeah. Now here we are. Yeah, here's some pictures from my early days when I joined the academy at under-10s to under-16s, and yeah, I look so diddy here. I barely recognise myself, and there's still some lads, in these team photos that I'm in the changing room with, still see day to day, so it's nice that we've all come through the ranks together. I remember on my trial, so for the first few games I was really nervous and didn't perform as well as I really wanted to, but after that, there was the last game of my trial actually, I played against Man United and I scored 10 goals. Granted it was under 10s, but I'm still clinging on to it. I remember playing in an international tournament in Spain, it's called Mmaee. And I started out up front, and yeah, I wasn't getting as much game time as I would have liked. And the goalkeeper got an injury, so I put my hand up. We didn't take a backup goalkeeper, I volunteered to go in goal, and yeah, I kept a few clean sheets until we faced Real Madrid. Got a picture here of me saving a shot from, I'm pretty sure it was Zidane's son. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm clinging on to. Yeah, so it's fun memories. Even though we did lose the game, it's trying something new, and yeah, I really enjoyed that tournament.
At what point when you were progressing did you start to believe that you could potentially become a professional footballer one day?
If I'm being honest, I think there was times where I doubted it, and I always made sure that I kept my education up and made sure that I still had 2 plans. I was always doubtful. I think my parents believed in me more than I believed in myself sometimes. But yeah, I think maybe I started playing under-21s, made my debut. I started thinking, okay, maybe I'm good enough to make a career in the game. So hopefully I can do that. It's still early doors, by no means made it. I'm under no false pretenses, and yeah, just want to keep going. So yeah, in my hands now is the scholarship. Like, it's the first when I signed here properly, left school, and yeah, this is looking at some pictures from signing day. That was when I first really entered the building full time, and it took some time to get used to. Started out playing under 18s and started doing well, started scoring goals, and yeah, it kind of took off from there. Like, when I was under 16s, before I signed my scholarship, I was offered a professional contract because I'd scored a fair few games for the under 18s. So when I turned 17, yeah, I signed that, which is a really proud moment for me and my family and anyone connected with me. So I'm looking here at text messages between me and my dad. The first time I trained first team, because obviously it seems insignificant now, but at the time it was a big deal, and I was really nervous and I was terrified. But yeah, at the time he was just telling me to give him hell. I was there in my with me blue socks on and my shin pads on, and all the big lads there, and it's big names and people you watch on the Saturday, and yeah, it was nerve-wracking. The boxes especially. I was petrified of the boxes. I'm a big guy, and it took me a while to get used to the boxes. Even just the warm-up, when you're going out and doing the warm-up, you don't want to knock a hurdle over, and it's really nerve-wracking. But when you've done it plenty of times, it just becomes natural. And the lads are obviously really nice, but when you're coming up as a 16-year-old, you always fear the worst, don't you? But yeah, it turned out all right. Yeah, so I started off the season as I finished it with the under 18s. Yeah, so obviously first year scholar, and I got given the captain's armband, which I was really proud of. And yeah, I scored a fair few goals for the 18s, which then led to me getting promoted to the 21s. I think my first start was was on the 18th of September 2022, so that was when I turned 17. So give or take when I signed my professional deal. So that was another big step. We ended up drawing the game 3-3. And yeah, I still remember because that's the first time I stepped foot on the Bet365 as well. So it is another proud moment. I mean, I've spoken a lot about the 21s games, but you know, I was also I'm still an under 18 now, but I was still technically eligible for the Youth Cup, which is a really important thing for the 18s. And yeah, I was really happy to captain them. We won the first round against Blackpool 5-1. And yeah, we went on to then play Manchester United, who were the cup holders last year. I think Garnacho scored 2 in the final maybe. I remember watching them and we were all panicking because we were thinking, oh my God, these are going to be amazing. But we ended up you know, winning 1-0. Josh Pickson scored a free kick and we all went mental. Probably one of the happiest after game feelings I've had, because it was just, you know, pure euphoria. It was especially nice to do it with people I grew up with playing football. They signed at the same time as me, you know, like so Jake Griffin, you know, Will Smith the season after. Obviously Mmaee was there, but he was playing a few years up back then. But we had plenty of lads in that team that were in all 3 games that came through with me. And yeah, I think that's promoting the academy, and it shows, you know, there was a pathway and we've all grown up together. And yeah, I think that helps with the cohesion, and we all get each other, and that's why we performed well, and we ended up knocking out the previous cup holders. Oh yeah, the debut. This is the big one, isn't it? Last season, 17 years of age, a really proud moment for me and my family. And yeah, I still remember this day. Friday afternoon, they let me know I was going to be in the squad. I still didn't think I was going to be on the bench. I thought I was going to be the 21st man, so I didn't let my parents go and watch. I was saying, oh no, I don't want you to come, don't want you to waste your Saturday and all this. In the end, I did end up getting on for probably about 4 minutes. It's a really good experience, just throw myself around as much as possible in 4 minutes, try and make an impact. And yeah, really, really proud day. I still remember, I can still vividly picture it now, like running out you know, Blackpool Stadium, it's just brilliant. That ended up leading to another opportunity that I got against Brighton. Lewis Dunk and Van Heck, I think I was playing against. 2 really good centre-halves and really strong. Didn't realise how strong Lewis Dunk was. He's a brilliant player. We were 1-0 down and he shot me on, which I was surprised about. To be honest, I was ready, but you know, it's still 15 minutes in an FA Cup 5th round. It's scary for a 17-year-old. Unfortunately, got an injury after the Brighton game, maybe 10 days after, which then, you know, it ended my season. Unfortunately, had a fracture in my back. But yeah, I was putting in the work in the off season to get back fit for pre-season, so I could, you know, keep pushing on. And yeah, I ended up going to the 21s of the first team went to Levante in Spain, or Benidorm was it, but we played Levante, and yeah, it was a great experience. Just being in around the first team for properly the first time, you know, becoming more and more established, and you know, they're getting more trust in me. Hated having to do the initiation song though. I'm not a big singer, really not a big singer, so that was painful. But once it was over with, I enjoyed the rest of the trip.
The natural thing now is, what was your initiation song?
It was "Tell It to My Heart" by Taylor Dane. It's the first one on my, I've got a nostalgia playlist, and I panicked. I was walking up just trying to pick a song. It was the first one on there, so I went with, and I wish I went for something different. It was terrible. I wanted to be an established first team player. I wanted to make more appearances, like you said before, hungry for more. I just wanted to, the first game of the season, I wanted to be involved. I was involved all throughout pre-season. I just wanted to be in and around it. I knew that if I was on the bench, I'd get a chance eventually. Just had to bide my time and train well, and just not get too hung up on not playing. Just stay, you know, stay grounded, and you know, my time will come. That's what everyone was telling me. So it starts here from Rotherham, which is the first game of the season. I was lucky enough to be involved in. Yeah, 5-1 win, brilliant atmosphere, the Bet365. And although I didn't get on the pitch, it was just a great experience all round. And yeah, I watched Sol come on the pitch, which was great because I've obviously come through with him. Chuffed for bits for him. And yeah, I think we had a little trio of us, me, Sol and David Kagbu on the bench for probably the first 10 games. So I was getting a few minutes here and there, but I was just, you know, unused substitute, soaking up all the experience I could. And yeah, I wouldn't change it, because I think it was important for me, for my psyche, to not rush into it. The real sliding doors moment for me in my career so far was the Spurs, the Tottenham Hotspur under-21 game. I had to come off after 30 minutes. Just wasn't feeling very well. I wasn't supposed to, but I ended up travelling to Bournemouth. If I'd played the full game, which I was expected to, then I wouldn't have travelled, I don't think. I think the game was on a Monday and the first game was on a Wednesday I think the Bournemouth game was on a Wednesday. And that's when I got on the Bournemouth game. And I think, I was joking about it, if I wasn't unwell, I wouldn't have got the opportunity. I don't think I would have been involved. And that then led to Bristol, which I ended up scoring in. So it's funny how football works sometimes. It was the point where I was just absolutely desperate to get on. And I think because of the performance in the Spurs game and then having to be dragged off, I was so frustrated. I just wanted to put it right, and it was perfect in the end, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world. So yeah, like I said about the Bournemouth Carabao Cup game, unfortunately we got knocked out, but it's a great experience personally. I just went out of just an absolute hunger to impress, because like I said before, I was an unused substitute and biding my time, and I was ready, and I was not nervous one bit. I was completely just focused on the game, gave me the call, and yeah, the rest is kind of history, because after that game, I played well. I nearly scored an over a kick. My first goal nearly was an over a kick, which would have been pretty special. I would have loved that, but unfortunately not to be. Got deflected over the crossbar, but I think it was just the intent that the gaffer liked. I think he liked that I was willing to try things like that as a youngster. And yeah, he told me before the Bristol game that he was thinking that I was in contention for starting, which is crazy for me to comprehend at that time. But in the end, he said, we want to go with someone else, but we want to get you on the pitch due to your performance against Bournemouth. We thought you did really well. Therefore, you're warranting 30 minutes here. And without that 30 minutes, I wouldn't have scored. And probably, I think it probably is the best day of my life. That Bristol game. It was just. It's ironic though, because I don't think I played that well in the whole game. Like I know I could do better. I was really nervous because I kind of knew I was going to play a part in it the day before. Whereas in Bournemouth, I didn't know, and I had no clue, and there's no time to be nervous. Whereas this one, I was a little bit more nervous, but in the end, I came good and I scored. And everyone forgets about losing the ball and not playing people in and all that other stuff. As a striker, it's beautiful because if you score a goal, everyone forgets. And that's basically what I did, and became the hero of the hour, which is a really nice feeling.
Take us into your head the moment that ball hits the net in front of the away end.
I think I just went blank, to be honest. I was thinking of so many celebrations, and in the end I just went with pretty much nothing. Everyone was saying, "Oh, how are you so casual about it?" and all of this. And if I'm being honest, I would normally I'd plan out one beforehand, just as like a little fun one with my mates, but I didn't. I kind of just panicked, really. I just ran over, gave it a little Harry Kane jump up, and yeah, more just looking at the fans going absolutely mental, and it was a brilliant feeling. Wish you could bottle it up, but unfortunately you can't.
What about at the end of the game when the lads sort of let you go over and take in the applause? What was that like?
Yeah, that was Wouter's idea. He pushed me over to all the fans. I would never have gone over and made myself the centre of attention. I hate doing all that. But Wouter did it for me, so I didn't really get a choice. And it was nice just hearing them chant, he's one of our own and all this. It's a bit surreal, and it makes you feel really appreciated, and it's just a lovely feeling all round. And yeah, I'll thank Wouter for that, because I definitely wouldn't have done it myself. Those fans went home happy, and that was only partially, but that was due to my goal. I mean that's a great feeling. No one can ever take away that happiness that they felt based on something that I did, which is really nice when you think back to it. Honestly, before every game, I picture scoring, whether it's home or away. I just want that ball to hit the back of the net. I don't care what it comes off. I don't care if it looks pretty. It's just the feeling of being able to wheel off celebrating. I think that's probably my biggest motivating factor, is wanting to score more in front of a crowd. Scoring for the 21s is all well and good. It gives you dopamine rush, but scoring in front of crowds, it's immense. It's incomprehensible. It's brilliant. Yeah, this is the second to penultimate one. I think Southampton was a Tuesday after the Bristol game, I only found out that I was starting when I was in the parents' lounge at Clayton Wood. The man just come in. I had my feet up and I was chatting to Sol, and wasn't my finest moment. But he came in and he beckoned me, and he asked me how I was feeling. I said, yeah, it's brilliant. I was a little bit sore from the game, but I obviously wouldn't tell him that. I said I was feeling amazing and all this, and he was like, yeah, brilliant, you're starting. And he shook my hand, and I was like, I just walked back in and just grinning ear to ear. You couldn't really hide it. I was going to try and play it cool in front of Sol and the other lads, but I couldn't. I couldn't like suppress it. And then I went onto the pitch, and I think it was better that I found out on the day, to be honest, because like the Bournemouth one, I didn't get too nervous. I was just, what can you do? I'm starting in 4 hours. Okay, well, get your head around it, kind of thing. I think it was on par with the Bristol game, because it was just like that's properly start. I never thought I'd start a Stoke City game at 18. I mean, when I was 15, 16, if you told me that, I'd snap your hand off for it. So yeah, it was. If you look at it that way, it was one I'll never forget.
What was it like walking out with "We'll Be With You" playing the song, and you walked out for the first time? If you can talk about that.
Yeah, no, it's because you kind of just, I don't know, but it's like a wall of noise. Especially when you see, you don't see individual fans, you see like just a wall of noise, a wall of people. It properly hits you, and you just get really, really up for the game. Like you just feel like you're kind of on something. You're just really, really ready for it. And when that whistle blew, I was just thinking, right, here we go, try and score another goal. I was deemed to have done well enough to keep my spot for the weekend. Played Leicester, so that's two previous Premier League opposition. So 2 tough games, talking about throwing me in the deep end. But Leicester was one where I came more into my element. I think more confident. It's always the first time was more scary, and this time I was just kind of ready to try and properly show everyone what it was about. It's the last game before international break, and yeah, I was just willing to give it my all. Playing against Vestergaard, who actually snapped me in probably like 30th minute, fully just clotheslined me, which was a great introduction to Championship football. But yeah, no, it was great playing against those the people you watch on Match of the Day in previous years. It's just surreal. So yeah, that was the last game I've got documented in here, or my parents have got documented, should I say. And yeah, after this I ended up going to England. So my first ever England camp, which was amazing, great experience. Another one I'll never forget. And it's just been a really busy year, and hopefully, start of a new chapter. And I want to, perform even better when I get on the pitch. I want to show everyone what I'm about, score more goals. Like I said, I'm hungry for goals, and I've pledged my long-term future to the club because I believe in what we're doing, and I want to be a part of it. And therefore, I want to be pushing for places, and I want to show everyone what I can do. So, looking forward to the next chapter at Stoke.